The first thing that you have to be before you can be determined is you have to be directed. This is similar to a GPS. We all have a GPS. Before, there used to be these big things that went on our windowsill, and today we just simply use our phone, and we hope that someone can hear us over the GPS if we're talking on the phone. But that's okay, or we can silence our GPS, but we all have a GPS. And I believe that there are two kinds of GPS users. So I want you to listen, and I want you to tell me which one you are. The first GPS user is someone who they know they have somewhere that they need to go. So they get in the car, they get the address, they put the address in their phone, they look to see how long is it going to take me to get there so I can make sure that I get there on time. They hit start, they look for the first interstate that they already know how to get to. And then once they get to that spot, they set their GPS up nicely and they get going, okay? And they let the GPS talk to them and tell them the next place that they're going to go to. Okay, you're going to turn right here, you're going to get off at this exit. That is GPS user number one. Now, GPS user number two is the person who, before they even get into the car, they have to put the address in their phone because they must know where they're going, how long they're going to be there. They have to prep themselves. They have to get themselves excited about where they're going to. And they just need to know that information in advance. So they have the information before they even get to the car. They get in the car. They're like, okay, it's going to take me this amount of time. And they get going. And they're holding the phone in their hands, even though they're not supposed to be. I know. You're out there somewhere. They're holding the phones in their hands. And they're looking to see the steps way down the line, way far. You're not even close to the street at all, but you want to know what turn you're going to make on that street because you want to be all the way ahead. You want to be all the way ahead. That is GPS user number two. And I honestly believe that when we are being directed, we operate in one of those two areas. So I will admit that I'm GPS user number one, okay? I don't need to know where I'm going until that next step. But my husband is GPS user number two. And he wants me to tell him 5 steps in advance. I'm like, we're not even close to there. We're not anywhere near. Why do you need to know this information right now? But he needs to know before we even get there. And both GPS users are amazing, even though sometimes in the car it doesn't feel that way. We're both amazing people. But at the end of the day, it's all about how we are directed. And I love when God says that he'll be a lamp unto our feet and a light into our path. And I find that when it comes to doing the thing that God has called us to do, that how we are directed tends to be how we like to use our GPS. There are those of us that want God to tell us the next step because we know if you tell me too far, I'm not going to do it. Okay, so don't tell me all the way down there where you want me to be because I'm going to get afraid, I'm going to get intimidated, and I'm not going to do it. And then there are those of us who need to know all the way down there or I'm not going to do it, okay? So we're one of those two people. But what I love so much about God is that he caters to both. But he also does not accommodate our preference in that all the time. Because he knows that there are times that I need to see the big picture so that I can be confident in what he's called me to do. And he knows that there are other times that he's like, no, if I show her too much right now, she will not do the next step. So he only shows me the next step.